Hello students, this is Taslima Jahan. I am a medical student and I'll help you out with the biology for the mainly for the class 10 because like in the class 10 there are a lot of pressures from the like when you study science that you have chemistry, physics, biology, so there are a lot of pressures mostly from the physics and chemistry. So you take tuitions for the physics and chemistry, but you find it like okay, biology is very easy. We can study it at home. Even the parents tells that okay, you don't have to take biology tuitions. So I thought that in this lockdown, when you are getting a minimum tuitions facility, so I'll be teaching you like in the process of tuition process only, so that I can help you out with your chapters. I hope you students will keep your focus and try to understand what I say, and I'll upload the videos in topic wise. Like I'll start a chapter and then topic wise. So you should wait for the next topic I upload. So today I'll start with the life process chapter. So in this chapter we'll know what is life process. So life process, first I'll read out the maintenance function of living organisms must go on even when they are not doing anything particular, even when we are just sitting in class, even if we are just asleep, this maintenance job has to go on. The process which together perform this maintenance job are life processes. So they are telling that the functions of a living organism like walking, then talking or sleeping, whatever it is, like your daily activities, even if you are asleep also, the processes of the life should go on, like the heartbeat, then the digestion process, all those activities, even if you are asleep, you are working, you are not working, those activities must go on. So this maintenance job has to go on. So this process together perform the maintenance job are life processes, means together the sleeping process, the digestion process, the nutrition process, the excretion process, the metabolism process, everything together is the life process. So this is mainly the introduction part. So introduction part is if you give a single reading, you'll be able to understand. I'll mainly go with the main topics which are tough to understand. This, I hope this part you'll be reading it by yourself and you'll understand. And if there is any confusion, you can write it in the description box. I can tell you, even explain it further. So next comes the nutrition. So in this chapter, life process. In the life process, I told earlier that nutrition, digestion, excretion, everything should go on. Respiration, everything is involved. So first we'll go with the nutrition. So what it is written in the nutrition, when we walk or ride a bicycle, we are using up energy, but when we are not doing any apparent activity, energy is needed to maintain a state of our body. We also need materials from outside in order to grow, develop, synthesize protein and other substances needed in the body. These sources of energy and materials is the food we eat. So the nutrition is mainly that I told earlier what is the life process. So that the life process to go on, so like the life process like the respiration, digestion, excretion, etc. All these life processes, life processes to go on, you need nutrition, I mean you need energy. Other, if you don't have the energy, if you do not eat food, will you be able to have the digestion? No, right? So in the same way, like we need energy for the nutrition to take place. We need energy to grow, we need energy to walk, we need energy to talk, we need energy to digest, we need energy to excrete, we need energy to respire. So for that we need nutrition, and this nutrition will come from what? From the food we eat. So how do living things get their food? So in the nutrition, what is that we need? We need energy, and that energy will come from food. And now we'll study how does this food comes from what things the food comes from, other or the how do living things get their food. The general requirement for energy and materials is common in all organisms, but it is fulfilled in different ways. Some organisms use simple food material obtained from inorganic sources in the form of carbon dioxide and water. These organisms, the autotrophs, include green plants and some bacteria. So the organisms, the autotrophs include green plants and some bacteria. Other organisms utilize complex substances. These complex substances have to be broken down into simpler ones, and before they can be used for the upkeep and growth of the body. To achieve these, organisms use biocatalysts called enzymes. Thus the heterotroph survival depends directly or indirectly on autotrophs. Heterotrophic organisms include animals and fungi. So they are telling that in the how organisms, living things, get their food. So organisms, some organisms like the simpler organisms, simpler forms of organisms, they take directly the food in the form of carbon dioxide and water. Like the but the human beings, the complicated organisms, the complex organisms, they take food, they directly do not take the simpler forms of food like the carbon dioxide and water. They take first the food, and then that is broken up into simpler ones, and from that simpler forms of food they take the energy. So uh, it is making it is telling the things in a like complicated way. I'll tell you what the thing is here. That means there are two categories of organisms. One category that is that make food by itself from the simpler forms, that is from the carbon dioxide and water, and they are autotrophs. Like they do not depend on other organisms for their food. And the next is the heterotrophic, which are which depend on the organisms, other organisms, to take their nutrition. Like are the plants or are the plants do they take nutrition from the animals? Do they eat some other organisms or animals to obtain their nutrition? No, they directly take nutrition from the sunlight and then water, and then they survive. So they take the nutrition in a simple way. But the human beings or the heterotrophic organisms, they depend on the plants, they depend on the animals, they depend on other organisms to take their nutrition. So basically they are telling two things, that food that is taken by the living organisms are two types, that is autotrophic and heterotrophic. So you'll have to now understand what is autotrophic nutrition. Carbon and energy requirements of the autotrophic organisms are fulfilled by photosynthesis. It is the process by which autotrophs take in substance from the outside and convert them into stored forms of energy. As I told earlier, that autotrophic organisms, that is example I told plants, take their nutrition by from the sunlight, water and carbon dioxide, that is they fulfill their nutrition by photosynthesis. And this material is taken in the form of carbon dioxide and water, which is converted into carbohydrates in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. And this photosynthesis process is a process where carbon dioxide and water is converted into carbohydrates in the presence of sunlight. So when during the daytime, when there is sunlight, this carbon dioxide and water is converted into carbohydrate. Since carbohydrate is the thing or the substance which is gonna give nutrition to the plants, so they have to produce the carbohydrate. So how they will produce the carbohydrate? They will produce the carbohydrate from the carbon dioxide and water and in the presence of sunlight. So it will be like carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight, they'll produce what? Carbohydrate. I hope you got it what I am trying to say. So next comes the carbohydrates which are not used immediately are stored in the form of starch. So just a minute. The carbohydrate which are, so first they will produce the carbohydrate. I told you how. Then if after the the required amount of carbohydrate have been used by the plants, the other amount which is not needed is stored in the form of starch, which serves as the internal energy reserve to be used as when required. Why they will store the starch, that the stored form of carbohydrate? Because in the future when they'll need the energy or nutrition, like when there is no sunlight, because there are also rainy seasons, there are also storms, there are also floods. So during that condition, when there will be no food source, at that time they'll use this stored form of starch when the plant is in in a bad condition, or they'll not get a proper sunlight or the nutritional requirements. A somewhat similar situation is seen in us when some of the energy derived from the food we eat is stored in our body in the form of glycogen. So like when in plants, the stored form of energy which is not needed, which is not required, that is stored in the form of starch. That part of food is stored in the form of starch, and that is this thing is used in this thing is required or been done by which kind of organisms? That is by the plants. So in the stored form of food in the plant is starch, and in the stored form of food in the animal is glycogen, which you will learn in the further in the heterotrophic nutrition, how the glycogen is being stored. But in the recently in this case, you just remember that the stored form of energy or the stored form of food in the plants is starch. So next comes the photosynthesis, but I think that it's gonna become too long. So for today, I think this much is enough. So like when I upload the next video, I'll upload it on photosynthesis. I hope students you can understand, you could understand a bit from what I said. And I'll, like when I finish the chapter, I'll tell you how to prepare the questions and answers of the chapter. And if you have any confusion, you can please write it in the description box. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye. Sorry, I mean in the comment section. Okay, bye bye, students.